Welcome in game one. I think I've got everything else correctly switched over. USA, oh, it's USAA, but it's USA against Canada. We're starting out here in the Deathmatch Nations Cup quarterfinals. I'm going to catch up to live time just because I messed around with this. We are starting out on Runestones, and let's introduce our squads. For Team USA, we've got Favorite playing as the Bulgarians. Pocket is Leash with the Franks. I do want to turn this off again. And opposite flank is going to be Improvised with the Britons. So classic civ choices here for Team USA. Canada has the Celts on flank for Maldhar. Pocket is the Hindustanis with Nuclear Pasta. And Teutons for Peon across from the Bulgarians. As we catch up to live time. Okay, Frank Pocket versus Hindustani Pocket is really tough for the Franks. It's really, really tough for the Franks. I do want to quickly, since we were speeding up here, Leash actually got 3 eco kills with the Franks, so that's nice, but might be seeing some return damage now as the Hindustani camels are running into the eco, forcing at least some buildings to be delayed. Over on the right-hand side, Britons up against the Celts. Until the Celts get their full unit composition now, this should be okay for the Britons, but if you can get into like SO, Woad, or whatever infantry, and Rams, importantly, might be a little bit tough for the Britons. And then Teutons against the Bulgarians, I feel like it's just 3 straight up civ not civ wins, but like civ advantages for Team Canada here. Maybe I'm wrong. This one, I suppose, less so. But I feel like the Teutons kind of clap against most of what the Bulgarians want to do, right? Leash trying to swing both ways a little bit, but mostly swing to the right here. Going to try and dive in here and snipe the Celt Siege out from Maldhar. Or maybe just try to take out the infantry in the front and let the longbows snipe the siege in the back. Camels roll in for Pasta. They clear up all the Paladin very quickly, and they're going to clear up all the siege very quickly, and they're going to clear up all of the longbows very quickly. Imperial Camels kind of disgusting in DM and when you can just spam them out constantly. Leash is making, I think, unironically the correct choice and is starting to mix in throwing axemen. I think the Paladin just aren't going to get it done whenever the camels show up, and Nuclear Pasta is on both sides right now. Helping out the Teutons, it's Bulgarian two-handed swordsman and conics against Teuton Paladin. I guess the Imperial Camels aren't going to be doing the most work in here. Decent shots here for Favorite, but I don't know, man. I don't know. In the middle, nice interception here. Leash finds a bunch of camels with his halb. That's a really nice find across the middle of the map with a slow unit. Might go down. I think ideally you want to be focusing the military here with the Werewolf Trebs, but there's simply too much here. The Celt Siege, full of infantry. The camels are in here. All the Trebs go down. The castle actually stays standing for Maldhar behind. Camels engaging against Paladin. That's what you want if you are the Hindustanis. Favorite is holding. Both teams kind of creeping castles around the middle hills of the map. Bulgarians were meant versus the Celts. Yeah, that would have been a little bit better. That would have been a tiny bit better, I think. But both sides are holding for now. How we looking economy-wise? It's actually quite an advantage for the USA eco-wise, and they're beginning... Oh god, this trade line is going to be disgusting. It's so rough. Oh my god, there's so many one-tile gaps back here for this trade line for USA. Might not matter though, as the push is coming in once more from the frozen north of Canada. Scorpions Rams and camels surging into the Britain base. Don't know if there's anything you can do against this realistically. Lots of... for a second I thought these were flaming camels. They're actually flaming trebs from the Celts. And yeah, castles are going down. No castles means no longbows. No longbows means no answer to the siege if there was one to begin with. And improvise is kind of getting rocked. Expanding to the back nicely, but I don't know how you stop this push. Bulgarians on the other side trying to do something against the Teutons, but we're diving Teuton Halb. I suppose once the horse dies, the Conics will do okay here. But I don't know if Favorite can ever push over on this side realistically. And Canada can indeed push from the other side. We've got the Teuton Paladin from Peon have rotated all the way to the middle. Leash's Halbs can only chase. They can't catch up. Despite the Teutonic Paladin being slow. There's a lot of eco. Leash sent 90 stone to improvise. Very nice. I'm sure that's very helpful. Throwing at... Look. What more proof do you need that throwing axemen are a great unit? They show up and suddenly the entire push from Canada is routed. Easy turnaround. With just a couple of throwing axemen, it's all you need. And Favorite is indeed pushing. All the Teutonic Paladin simply left. And, well, they're trying to run through the trade line, but not the best unit to run trade down with. So suddenly... Peon is dying. Onyx rolling in from Favorite. Rebs are going to rotate over here and start taking out the middle castles. Really good push on the top side. And thanks totally and unequivocally to the throwing axemen, Improvise is reestablishing something on the bottom side. Rams are coming back in, but there's not too much military behind this for Maldhar. Elite Teutonic Knights, massive mistake. The only counter to the throwing axemen, I'm sure, is the Elite Teutonic Knights. Rams do get in on the trebuchets, but only get one of them. And the longbows should be able to clear up the woads. There's Scorpions diving underneath the castle. Castle falls behind before the trebs go down. Really nice work there. I haven't said Nuclear Pasta's name in a hot minute. He shows up with camels in the middle. Gets a good engagement against the Paladin, but now underneath castles, there's some halbs mixed in here. Probably not going to find too much more value, and Peon is kind of getting dusted by Favorite up top side. Another all these castles have fallen for Peon. He had two on these hills. They're both gone. And he unironically does need Elite Teutonic Knights. It's Bulgarian Cav Archers, though, so I suppose Favorite has an answer, as Peon just rang the town bell, I'm pretty sure. This was looking so good for Canada. What happened? A couple of throwing axemen show up and suddenly your entire push it just dissolves. Okay, there's sirens going off outside, and sounds like there's a tornado, but I think it's just high winds and it's fine. Leash rolls through with the Frank Paladin. He's going to take out the trade. And, well, the trade goes down. The castle protecting the trade goes down. The market will go down. Maldhar on the back foot, but might be able to come out here and snipe some undefended trebuchets with some woads. As Favorite continues to just creep up on Peon. Where's the military? There's nothing here for Peon. 16 Paladin and 6 Halbs is all that Peon has on the field. Canada kind of late to the trade, and then obviously just had it dusted, so that's a little rough for all of these civs. Students, Celts, and Hindustanis all really need this gold, and Maltar calls the GG. What a quick turnaround. That was crazy. I thought Canada was in the pocket, ready to deliver the killing blow. Improvise was pushed all the way back here. Had like no castles at the front. Basically the entire base completely open. Favorite was holding, but was not pushing at all against Peon. And then Peon sent most of his military kind of on a world tour that didn't find any value. And Maltar's push was cleared up, and he just didn't have the res to do a second push, I suppose. USA, USA, there we go. Game 1 for the boys. Oh, uh-oh. My power is flickering. So you might all have to jump ship onto Dave. It's happening. In the meantime, while I'm still alive, we'll enjoy this game 2. Welcome in. Game 2, USA versus Canada. We are here on Team Islands, and it is going to be Byzantines from True, across from Maltar's Chinese, Spanish from Leash on the flank, across from the Wei, and then we've got Byzantines for Pasta and the Chinese for Improvise. So not across from each other, but we do have the Chinese and the Byzantine mirror. And then Spanish versus Wei. Okay, Wei are docking in the back. Do Wei not get... Wei do get Treadmill Crane. So interesting that they're docking in the back. They're the only civ in the entire game to dock in the back. I suppose they're slower than the Spanish anyway. Maybe that's the thinking. But here we go. Dragon ships up against Byzantine fire ships. I actually have no idea which of these are better. But there's more dragon ships. And more ships is more better. It's actually a bit of a rough start for Nuclear Pasta. Had to abandon one dock, actually 3 docks, and is walking pretty far for the rest. And Spanish with those quick docks coming up are all over the place with the Carax. So Pasta got kind of, I was going to say toasted, but you boil pasta, right? On the other side, though, Chinese kind of OP. Dramens from the Byzantines. Can Dramens... I have seen Dramens do well against Lushuans before in my life. But, again, that's a lot of Lushuans. That is a lot of Lushuans. Chinese has to come down here to deal with the Chinese. Dragon ships against the Wei Lushuans, which don't have any bonuses. Except costing less. Okay. Pasta got completely, well, is about to get completely wiped off of water. That's not a good sign for Team Canada. Can Maltar hold two? Well, I guess it's kind of a 1v1. Improvise is really just smashing Nuclear Pasta's face into the dirt in the middle right now. He's not helping out on the sides just yet. Pasta has to switch to back docks, which is not ideal, and currently there is not a single completed dock on the map for Nuclear Pasta and his Byzantines. But Maltar has a lot of Chinese Lushuans. It's a lot of Dramens, though. Lushuans kind of stack up in weird ways, so the AoE of the Dramens can get a lot of DPS in if they stack up just right. Pasta is now slinging his allies. He says, I can't make anything. I have no production buildings. He's making cataphracts. He has to give his allies all of his resources instead. But it's a lot of navy. Improvise has finished the cleanup at the front of Nuclear Pasta, so he swings down both ways, actually. He's got dragon ships in front of both Lushuan civs. Spanish not really patrolling in, actually. The opposite of patrolling in. Castle's melting to the cannon galleons behind, though. Could be massive Draman shots if True's paying attention. It was not. It was not a massive Draman shot. But Maltar's going to start losing docks at the front now. These could be pretty good Droman shots. And they're pretty good. They're not bad. Lushwan's behind this for improvise as well. Peon trying to hold. Clears up most of the dragon ships, but there's still a lot of Spanish stuff in here. Nuclear Pasta getting some fire ships back out on the field, but they're going down very, very quickly. Also, Pasta doesn't have any resources left because he slung everything to his teammates, so he can't even really make that much. True OP beating China? True. True. Getting a little bit help from their own Chinese ally, but I think this is a quick 2-0 for Team USA. Mashing on both sides. Demos? Who says these things are underpowered these days? They roll in, get some nice bada booms. And now Peon's going to be losing his docks. Maltar has lost his docks. Nuclear Pasta has docks, but no resources. Look at the value though. The Cataphracts beating the dragon ships at their own game here. They actually are doing quite well. They're doing surprisingly well, actually. The Chukanu are also doing surprisingly well. The GG is called. There's no recovering from this. And USA does indeed make it a quick 2-0. Not playing around. Okay, thanks DE. Welcome in. I'll catch up. I'll go 2 times speed and I'll speedcast a little bit. Welcome in. Game 3, USA versus Canada. We are here on Costa Mountain. Cute little wall in here by True. I like that a lot. I wonder if ships are going to get trapped in here, but it's a nice cute little circle there. Quick walls as well for Nuclear Pasta. Let's introduce our teams. We've got up top, Maltar with the Mongols. Across from Improvises the Bohemians. It's going to be Leash with the Magyars in pocket across from Peon with the Burmese. And Nuclear Pasta with the Italians across from True as the Italians. So Italian Mirror going to try and win it on water. Meanwhile, Mongol Steppe Lancers and Camels trying to cut off. Nice expansion there. Leash trying to get a TC up here. Interesting. He's overexpanding past even his flank. Elephants in the middle. How do they deal with these elephants? How in the world does Team USA deal with these elephants? It is not Magyar Cav Archers. I can promise you that. And it looks like Nuclear Pasta is doing quite well on water. He kind of got beat up on water in the previous game on Team Island, so wants some revenge. But True's not going down without a fight. He's got a decent navy up here. Meanwhile, topside, it is Ferrari Mongol Siege Onagers. Theoretically can be countered with Hofnitsa by Improvise, but that is tricky. It's very tricky. Magyar is running in. Magyar is very strong civ. Magyar Cav Archers, Magyar Hussar. Very, very strong. And we said maybe this is why they were chosen. They try to dive in on the Mongol Siege Onagers, but it all comes to naught. Good back and forth in the middle. I just feel like there's no answer to these. We need like 1 million Bohemian Halb probably to deal with these elephants. There's so many elephants. There's 132 elephants on the field for Peon right now. He got slung res by, I think, Maltar. Can the Bohemian Halb deal with this? Kind of, but there's more where that came from. There's still 90 elephants on the field. Mongols trying to dive in on the Hofnitsa. Good micro, though, for Improvise. Meanwhile, in the water, Pasta is getting pushed back a little bit. Fires being mixed in should be better for him. And we even have a fair bit of Genbos here to maybe counter the Magyar Cav Archers. I feel like it should be fairly solid Civ matchups here for Canada, but I said that game 1. USA is pushing up top as we hit live speed. Mongols don't have any siege out. It has all been sniped. And anything here... Well, there's Genbos. Genbos can deal with the elephants, I suppose. Maybe if the rest of this stuff deals with the, Hofnitz on the SO. Cav Archer... Magyar Cav Archers probably are, somewhat okay against the Mangudai. Then you have the Halbs and Genbos against the elephants. It's going okay. We've got a 3-on-1 top side. And USA is pushing. Nuclear Pasta, still a lot of Navy on the field, but still a stalemate on the water. Genbos. Don't really know how Genbos do against Magyar Cav Archers. They have much less range. It's 7... Well, I guess it's 1 less range. Alright, it's not that bad. Why do I always feel like Genbos have such terrible range? Not that bad. Have Archers taking some hits. But this ball, still really tough to deal with. Super forward. 1 villager castle for improvise, by the way. But it's still going up somehow. Elephants charge out. Genbos trying to do damage. There's not many Halbs left in front for improvise. So this could be a really nice clear up, but there's not too many elephants either. Where are the elephants? They're coming. Stampeding forth. Pasta has pushed True to the limit. Can he finish True off on water? I don't know, though. There's lots of docks here. It's been a really good fight. Also, just the castles back here are really nice. This is only working because Leash is a beast. True. But not True. Leash. Canada does get their feet under them, at least briefly, with that pushback. So they can kind of reorient themselves. The castle was indeed denied at the top for improvise. We need more Halbs, I think. I don't know if the Hussite wagons do anything here, to be honest. I think we just need pure Hofnitz and Halb, right? From improvise. Everything here should beat Hussite wagons, I guess. Do Mangudai beat Hussite wagons? They should do alright. True pushing back. He keeps getting pushed back into his docks, but he just does not give up, and he continues to roll out again. Another big engagement. Elephants charge out yet again. Just these little bits of Genbos do such good work here. It's only 19 of them. They do such good damage to the elephants. It's really good. Hussite wagons are all dead, though. USA in full retreat off the top side. Mongol SO is chasing down the Cav Archers, the Magyar Cav Archers, but do have to back up as the Hofnitz take a stand. True retreats again. Got more barracks We've got barracks coming up for nuclear pasta. So is this Kondo add-in? Surely it's not Italian pikemen, right? Canada gets to redraw the battle lines a little bit. This castle was completed. How did improvise get out here and finish this castle? That's crazy. Surely won't stay standing for too long, I would think. Improvise slinging True some wood. Interesting. I guess it's been massive, massive Navy fights on the bottom side, which I don't usually, there's one big fight on water and then that's it. Someone loses and then they never fight back on water. This has been the most investment on both sides that I've seen. A couple ships trapped in here, and it's just one, it's fine. Improvise is going to lose the forward castle. Gets another castle up behind, though. Elephant number is looking a little bleak for Peon. What's the issue here? wood, actually, for Peon. Peon has no wood, which is not something you necessarily need for elephants, but maybe it's bottlenecking his food? This is probably not enough food for big elephant production. The castle goes up for Peon, and the Hofnitsa say, no, I don't like that there. We'll take that back down, please. Or at least they're thinking about it. Elephants charge out yet again. Oh, big shots on the Genbos by the Siege Onagers. That's what you like to see. We've got Mongol camels here. I don't know if that's what we want. I really don't know if Mongol camels are the way here. But Panda continues to push. The castle will fall for improvise. Elephants run into the Bohemian Halb with all that extra bonus damage they get. Magyar Hussar cannot snipe the Trebs behind this. Improvise says, I've got more where that came from. He drops 2 more castles. Mongols are starting to get into their death ball here. Decent amount of SO and Mangadai. Diving on the Hofnitsa. Yeah. There's the shots I wanted to see. Those are the shots I wanted to see. Elephants move in. There's not enough Halb. It's tough. It's really tough with all the Mongol SO and whatnot, but there always needs to be Halb in front of this, I think. True. Pushed Pasta all the way back to the docks, but as we've seen, once you reach the docks, you can't push back. It is indeed Condotieros for Pasta against Condotieros for True. All right. We've got the Condo boys flying into each other down south. I think True not being able to send Genbos up north has really caused an issue for Team USA's push up here. There's some here again. 11, 12. Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I think they were putting in a lot of work despite their low numbers. Long-term Canada wins. I think so, yeah. I guess. The elephants become so resource efficient, which is weird to say, but eventually this map does turn into a wood game. So unless USA can like win on water super heavy and cause some momentum that way, I do think Team Canada does win eventually, but the push is coming back in for Team USA. Might lose this castle up top, but I'm quite sure Peon loses this castle in the middle. Mangadai dying. Do a lot of stuff, really. They really did not need to run forward that far, I don't think. Surely if the Mangadai all die, the camels will be fine, right? Camels roll in. Elephants are dead. Camels get absolutely obliterated by the Bohemian Halberdier. Elephants just pathing through the Halbs as well. It is real ugly. Trebuchets are going to try and dome the Hofnitsa, but I think it takes 2 shots for a Treb to kill a Hofnitsa. Still, that's alright. A little awkward, a little awkward. Lots of Trebs go down, but decent trade. Nice little cheeky snipe says, get off my gold. Some friendly fire down here. More Trebs falling. Looked like that Treb domed that elephant, but I don't think it could have. Nuclear Pasta forced back to the docks yet again, but there's a lot of fire ships out for Pasta, and I think True is going to have to back up yet again. Just non-stop grinding navies into each other down here, though castles are falling for Pasta as True has added in some cannon galleons behind this push. We'll back up now, but losing that castle is really nice for True to force the castle lost, I should say. Peon trying to sling Maldhar gold. How are we looking eco-wise? There's not too much trade yet for anyone except for, well, I guess Peon and Maldhar have decent trade. But pretty low numbers elsewhere. True needs wood for more chips. Okay. I mean, USA has more space up here, right? So if this just turns into a deadlock, there's way more wood here for USA to take, as long as they don't get pushed back super hard. Wood, please. That's true, it's true. Bruce playing too many galleons. It does feel like whenever I see one of these two players getting pushed back, it's because the other one has more fire ships. And, well, Nuclear Pasta's the one that needs to be saying wood, please. Improvise sends True more wood. True has so much wood. Why are they Why are they slinging him more wood? He's got 14k. Nuclear Pasta is 88. Dock's going down. Castle's going down. I think True has one water. Top side. Team USA pushed pretty far forward yet again, but I think we'll get turned back briefly here. This is really the issue right now for Team Canada. Losing water means bad things for your trade in the long term. Oh. Yeah, gold's looking pretty good for a number of people, really, on Team USA. 10k gold is a lot of gold, but that's Bohemians, right? Bohemians are this weird thing where, kind of like the Turks, if I can say something that Otter will agree with, they really need gold units in their composition super hard, but they don't necessarily lose gold units a lot. So sometimes you just end up with a bunch of gold. That's if you don't lose your Hofnitsa. Okay, only one goes down. That's fine. Well, curse, caster curse. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's a worthwhile dive for the Mangadai. Okay, well, now what for Pasta? Because Pasta's dead. Only 64 vills and 33 trade carts for Pasta. He's losing all of his castles as well. So I don't really know what Nuclear Pasta can do anymore. Going to run villagers up to the north. But I think it's still looking good for USA. Look at the military count for Team USA. It's 233 to 84 on the map right now. Obviously, you know, there's like, what, 80 ships for True? So not all of this is on the land, but Ox going down. I think Pasta's simply abandoned water. I don't think there's any way to win it back anymore. Lots of back and forths on the water this game, but I think this is the final one, the final swing. Castle will go down. Once the castle goes down, the markets will go down, I think. Well, maybe they can't reach. Can they reach this market from here? Yeah, they should be able to. Elephant's trying to carve out some space for Team Canada, but look at where the wood lines for Team Canada are. They are underneath Improvise's castles, which is not a good sign. Canada doesn't even have the dream of going for wood trade on water anymore. Also, Leash has arrived back in here as soon as the castle goes down. Suddenly, Leash is here with a bunch of military. So the trade gets butchered. Was still running down here anyway. Market was deleted, I think. I don't even know if the cannon galleons needed to take it out or not. But trade will be severely impacted for Team Canada. Wood is a big issue for Team Canada. Elephants try to roll out, but there's Genbos here. There's Bohemian Halbs here. Hofnitsa taking pot shots at the Mangadai. And I think Team USA going to glide into a 3-0 situation here, potentially. I don't really see a way back into this for Team Canada. True is sending the boys forward. Why is he sending these boys forward? I don't know, because there's actually quite a big Genbo army here. Okay, he sends the boys a little bit further back. He sent all of these villas here to take this quarter of a stone pile left, surely. We've got the 10 tryhards in the middle. And then these guys are just like getting the paycheck. And the stone is gone. We'll see where they go next. In north, Leash seems to have free reign to just send in army wherever he wants to right now. It's Steppe Lancers for the Mongols because there's no wood left. There's no wood, so the Mongols have to go Steppe Lancers into the Bohemian Halbs. That's not a great sign. Well, maybe it is. They're going to snipe one up top at least. Well, it's just one. And, well, elephants are trying to run down the Magyar Cav Archers in the trade. Elephants are not really designed to run down Cav Archers in the trade. The eco is a mess. The eco is really bad back here for Canada. There's no resources to take. These poor elephants just keep coming, and they just don't catch up to the Cav Archers. And the GG has to be called. Team USA goes up 3-0, staring down the barrel of a sweep of our northern brothers. Welcome in. Game 4, potentially decider match. USA versus Canada. Canada needs to begin their reverse sweep now. We are on Kawasan. Let's introduce our teams. Up top for Team USA. Or sorry, it's left to right, but still up top for Team USA. It is the Tatars for favorite, across from Asta's Bengalis. Pockets are Mongols for improvise, and Magyars for peon. And then we have the Spanish, of course, in the south for Maltar, who saves the villager by doming the Hussar with a cannon galleon. If that's not why you want Spanish here, I don't know what further proof you need. He's across from Bengalis from Leash. So Bengalis not across from each other. Elephants are chasing down villagers here on the bottom side. Spanish against Bengalis isn't very good for the Spanish, is it? Spanish get really bad onagers and maybe the worst scorpions in the entire game, which are usually the go-tos against elephants. And also the Magyars in the pocket, probably not the best civ to help out. So, well, we'll see. Peon loses a villager here to the Mongol Camel Rush, of all things. Maybe even a second one. Boom. Improvise. Doming villagers left and right. I'm seeing a lot of... Well, if I said the Bengalis were good on the bottom side, they're looking pretty good on the top side, too. Favorite. With the Tatars. Technically has the counter to the elephants, but you can't get into flaming camels if your entire base is covered in elephants and you can't make any buildings. How is the ecos looking? Maltar and Peon still, well, not anymore. Favorites losing villagers. Trying to get a castle up and finally does at least get a castle up. So probably won't die at the very least. Mongol camels against the Bengali elephants shouldn't be great. Maybe the Tatar camels and the Mongol camels can do alright, but now you're making Steppe Lancers and, not Steppe Lancers, those are, yeah, those are Steppe Lancers. You're making Steppe Lancers and camels as the Tatars instead of Cav Archers. Actually, maybe this is the answer to the Bengali elephants. Spanish cannon galleons. There's 19 of them in this pond, by the way. Nobody tell Kellar. But Maltar has 19 Spanish cannon galleons. If you're going to overproduce any siege ship, it should be the Spanish cannon galleons, I think. And they're putting in the work. They're actually crushing these elephants. And everything else. Do they not automatically target the elephants? Do they automatically target buildings first? That's kind of annoying, actually. I understand their siege, and that's usually how it works and how you want it to work, but a little annoying. Big elephant push in the middle, backed up by Magyar Cav archers. The Mongols are still full... Oh, okay, not full camel. There are Mangudai in here. Also some... SO, I'm waiting for a big shot, but the SO can't get in there. Tatar and Mongol camel, interesting. This shouldn't be good. Especially with the Magyar Cav archers behind. I think you need more SO in order for this to be a good trade for Team USA, but let's see. Bottom side, Spanish are pushing back. We've got so many elephants here. We've got elephant archers, battle elephants, and siege elephants in here for leash. I guess elephant archers do count as a cav archer for leash, I suppose. Spanish Halb. It's about as good of a fight as you could hope for the Spanish Halb, to be honest. The leash kind of getting pushed back. Altar claiming the corner as best as he can. This is an atrocious corner to trade in, though. It's going to be a disaster down here trying to get the trade cards out. Also, Leash expanding down here, had probably castles here at some point, or fortifications of some kind, but nothing remains standing when the Spanish cannon galleons are around. That's a lot of villagers going down for Leash. Only 25 villagers for Leash, by the way. And I don't know if he's even paying attention to this. Meanwhile, both teams trying to jockey positioning in the middle of the map. We're finally into mostly Mangudai here for improvise and off of the Mongol camels. Flaming camels have been released. They've been sent forth. There's not many elephants here, but they should do okay against the cavalry from the Magyars anyway, right? I think. We are on double Cav Archer. These are the 3 best Cav Archers in the game, by the way. It's nice to see them all together. I feel like you see Tatars and Mongols up against each other a lot, but Tatars and Magyars, but the Mongols usually aren't hanging around, so... If you like Cav Archers, this is the game for you, I suppose. Especially if you include the Elephant Archers. You jinxed Leash? Maybe. Maybe. It's possible. He's kind of getting clapped by the Spanish down here, but what are you supposed to do? Genuinely, I don't know what you do once Spanish have 24... cannon galleons in their pond. Like, how do you stop this? He's trying to hug the side of the map and he's just getting domed. Go mid. But then don't you just die to Maltar? You have to, like, do something, right? Team America, Warpath, alright. You've come in at maybe the worst time in the set for Team USA. It's looking a little rough in this particular game, but I will say, I've said it's looked rough for them in 2 of these games already, and then they just kind of decide to win anyway. So I'm not counting anyone out yet. Flaming Camels, right into the Cav Archers. They take out the Elephants, at least. And they get a couple of Cav Archers. Unironically better than demos nowadays. Need to fight for the hill. Lakes and hill. The map has 2 win cons. Yeah, true. I don't think there's any way you can take the pond down here anymore. Do we see any pond shenanigans? Yeah. Tatars have cannon galleons up top. But the Tatar cannon galleons don't quite hit the same, literally, as the Spanish ones. So the elephants don't care that much. Warpath got off work in time for the Canada reverse sweep. No. They can take a game or two, so it's not a sweep. You know, want to make them feel good about it. But no reverse sweep, please. Big push in the middle. Flaming Camels in on the Cav Archers. Castle falls. And maybe Warpath is actually the good luck charm for the Team USA. Shows up and suddenly the game turns around a little bit. Leash is still dying. Gotta be said. But can the Spanish continue to push once they're outside the range of their cannon galleons? Remains to be seen. Trade is getting hit by elephants, of all things. The hill has been mostly taken by Team USA, but there's no siege left to take out the castles that remain for Team Canada, for Peon specifically. Trade, really bad for Team USA right now, by the way. Holy, look at this. What is this? These trade lines are so bad. Okay, they've been fixed. It's a little bit better on this side. We deleted a building here. A little bit better for Team Canada again. The Spanish from Maltar show up in the middle of the map, so taking a page out of Otter's book, but this gives Leash full, what do you want to call it? Gives him the ability to rotate up here freely, right? If Maltar is up here with his army, then Leash says, alright, I'll be up here with my army. I think the Bengali army provides a little bit more up here than the Spanish one does, but look, here comes the camels. The Tar is actually OP. Anyone who's ever played Michi knows this. They roll in. They scare everyone back. The entire army from Peon turns tail and flees in the face of the flaming camels. So the Rams can come in. Another castle might go down. This castle goes down. Oh, Trebs were shooting at that castle. I didn't even see the Trebs. Both castles go down. The hill is taken by Team USA. There's a lot of flashing going on in Favorite's base that is concerning me. The Flaming Camels found somewhere to hit. Darn, I wasn't looking up there. There's so much flashing in here, I don't know where to look to see the big bada boom, so that's unfortunate. But Peon's still here. Magyar Cav Archers are still OP. Flaming Camels are back, though. You gotta get out of here. We're not getting out of here. They're getting out of here into the army of the Mongols. Simply fleeing from the Flaming Camels. Flaming Camel says, alright, I guess I can come in here and kill all these Paladin instead. The Spanish army evaporates. Magyar Cav Archers against Mangadai Tatar Cav Archers and Bengali Elephant Archers is a tough ask, I think, all at once. More elephants in the trade, though. Pasta. Underneath the castles, who cares? Some of these cannon galleons have died or been deleted. I don't quite know. Probably doesn't matter. Still full control over the water. Elephants. No response. Okay, here's the response. Flaming camels are being sent up here to try and deal with the elephants. I don't know if that's... Well, we'll see, I guess. I feel like the castles are just kind of killing it. But, big push from Nuclear Pasta up here has the trebuchets behind. If this castle goes down, there's nothing in the trade anymore. Another castle is going to get put down by Favorite, but you kind of need to deal with this push first, I think. Meanwhile, in the middle, have Archers from Team USA getting pushed back. Bengali Elephants rolling in while the Magyar Cav Archers fire from behind with their extra range. And Spanish shows up from the south, going to deny a castle in the middle for improvise, and also snipe quite a bit of siege. Wood is becoming a bit of an issue, but I guess none of... Well, the Magyars need the wood. if they're losing Cav Archers, but I guess the Bengalis and the Spanish don't necessarily need that much wood. The trade line is so bad. Okay, we're trying to fix it. We're deleting anything in the trade line that isn't nailed to the floor, so to speak. More raids in Leisha's base. The eco is even overall, but it's mostly improvised with a lot of eco. And Peon rolls through. There's not enough in the middle anymore for Team USA to keep Peon's attention, so he's going to rip through. I mean, there's some places to sit in the trade that would be devastating for Team USA if he can find them. Flaming Camels, not enough, I don't think, to pounce on this Cav Archer mass just yet. Some of the trade is just going this way. I don't really know why. I guess they're going to these markets. They're a bit out in the danger zone. Flaming Camels. Find a couple good shots. And they continue to chase down the Cav Archers. A little bit of a misfire there. If you stop and don't get the shot off, you give up a lot of ground. But this is still a lot of military here that Favorite is having to devote to this. And that's a lot of trade going down. Team USA doesn't really have the trade numbers to begin with. So losing this is pretty rough. How are we looking in the north? Castle remains standing, but 2 more Trebs have arrived for Nuclear Pasta. Paladin from Maldhar. They've traversed the entire world, and they've arrived from the southernmost point to the northernmost point. They're going to sit in the trade and snipe more trade. Oof, that's a lot of trade that they're sniping, actually. Cav Archers and a couple of Flaming Camels I don't think is even enough to deal with this. Castle will fall as well. Looking really good for Canada up top. Middle. Seems like both players have just, or both teams rather, have just kind of said we don't need the middle anymore. Leash trying to push out for the first time in the last, like, 27 minutes. Trying to take an angle that the Cannon Galleons can't reach, and I think we'll actually kill this castle. That's nice. But I don't know if it's good enough. Yeah, both went pool 1. We've had not that many mirror matches, considering. I thought we might see a lot more of both teams just picking the same stuff, but it hasn't really shaken out that way so far. Another castle goes down, but I think Favorite has enough to push this back at the very least. I mean, there's no markets left up here. I don't even know why these trade carts are going up here. Nothing here. Mangdai also arrive. So a bit of a surround on Peon's Cav Archers. Trebs go down, but nobody's in the middle anymore. And finally Nuclear Pasta says, well, alright, I guess I'll take the middle. Elephants ripping down castles themselves. Who needs siege when you've got tusks? And Maltar with the Spanish, I think, has cleared up the push that Leash had brewing. Needs to pay attention here, or could lose a lot of conquistadors. Okay, pulls him back just in time. Dodging the cannon galleons is quite a bit easier when it's not the Spanish across from you. I still think Canada are winning, but it seems like they're struggling to, like, actually win. It seems like quite often I'll think Canada's in a really good spot, but they just can't quite find that one critical moment or critical damage to do to actually finish the games. Angadai clearing up some elephants. Leisha's eco is really bad. Improvise is not great either, but I suppose you're not making much in the way of food with the Mongols, ideally. A couple of Paladin finding good value back here in the wood lines. This could end up being a wood game, really. Team USA trying to take gold forward, but the Tatar cannon galleons are not providing them the cover they need. Okay, Leash ended the game with a Cav Archer raid last time, kind of. It was already over, realistically, but still, he was raiding with Cav Archer. Oh, these aren't Cav Archers. These are regular elephants. All right. I thought maybe they were elephant archers. This is good. This is good. Like, it's going to get cleared up. But it's doing damage. It's doing a lot of damage, actually. Leash, bringing us back in the game again, maybe? Question mark? Elephant Archer. These are Elephant Archers in the trade up top for nuclear pasta, but underneath the castle, camels in front. Maybe this is still... Nah, this will get cleared up. Mangadai show up. The issue is Improvise is just having to swing everywhere to clear up these raids. It is constant raiding. So the Mangadai are never, like, actually helping anywhere. They're just trying to stop the bleeding, which is good and necessary, but isn't necessarily going to get Team USA back into a winning position. Leash trying to mass up elephants in the south, getting Trebs back into position. As Peon's going to simply run through. There are some Mangadai back here, but not a ton. Well, okay, there are a ton. Never mind. They come back. I guess this is the downside for Team Canada, is the Mangadai are just sitting in the trade all game long, so you can't raid it anymore because they're always right there. So maybe it's okay to have them back here. Trade continues to try and run here despite all of this military from Team Canada just sitting up here. Maltar slinging... Maltar and Peon sending gold to Pasta. Leash is pushing. Got elephants here. They roll over the Spanish Paladin. And they force the conquistadors to back up. So another castle's going to go down. There's not much left here between the trade line and the army. It's not a huge army for Leash, but maybe this is the best chance Team USA has to get back into things here. Rebs are going to get sniped out, though. That's a good start for Team Canada. These elephants just keep walking back into the trade line. The conks try to come back here to deal with them, and they just don't really do enough damage to kill the elephants super fast. Leash is trying to hold his team in this game as well as he can, but Nuclear Pasta is now rotated all the way from the top down here and is butchering Leash in the back. There's not much down here between this army and the trade either. Revise with the Mangadai does push back in the north, so the trade line can be reestablished for Team USA. Spanish running through. Feels like Canada has given up on actually pushing, and they're just trying to raid Team USA to death. There are 9 trebuchets here somewhere. Okay, Peon is preparing a push in the north again. All right. I think this is fine. Canada's finding so much value just continuously diving in this location. Improvise has just parked 60 Mangadai up here because he knows there's going to be something else that shows up. But Peon running through the trade. Improvise is trying to sling Leash because the eco is basically non-existent. Leash is kind of fully dead. Why does Improvise have so many rams here? I don't know. I think USA is just dead. I can't imagine they come back from this one. Have the games been close? Game 3 was pretty close. Game 2 was not close at all. Game 1... was... Yeah, game 1 was back and forth. There was a moment in there that I thought Canada was winning game 1. I would say game 2 was really the only one that was bad. That was ugly. That was not entertaining because of how lopsided it was. But that such is Team Islands. Sometimes. Okay, they called it GG. I was gonna say, like, I'm pretty sure US is just dead. Leash is, like, fully dead, so it makes sense that he calls it GG. First, Canada on the board! I said we don't like sweeps. Well, we didn't get a sweep. Oh, they're already in. Was there no spec delay? Okay, there's no spec delay anymore. They've moved on from spec delay. They gave up, so let's jump straight in. Welcome in Game 5, USA versus Canada. We are here on Canyon Lake. I guess I'll go live speed. Let's introduce our teams yet again. This could be the decider game again. Bohemians from Maltar up top, across from the Celts from Improvise. I think that's not a great matchup for the Bohemians, but let's see. Bottom side, it is the Sicilians here. I was expecting them elsewhere, but Sicilians for Nuclear Pasta across from the Teutons for True. That's a terrible matchup for the Sicilians too, I think. And then Pocket, it's the Franks for Peon against the Hindustanis from Leash. Okay. Well, if Canada can win here, they're going to have so much confidence going forward. I'll put it that way. Because I'm pretty sure this is outrageously bad civs across the board for Team Canada. It's good civs. The Franks are good. The Bohemians are great. The Sicilians are good. But kind of hard countered by what Team USA has brought forth to oppose them with, I think. But let's see. I said the Franks would get slapped around by the Hindustanis game 1, and they didn't. So maybe Peon will go throwing Axemen and win the game again? Maybe. Do we see another throwing Axemen masterpiece? It's looking like it. Elsewhere, Peon is getting some damage in here into Improvise's base with the Paladin. Gonna roll out here and snipe some Siege as well, which is really nice, because I don't know what the Bohemians are going to do against all this. Ofnitsa can at least snipe the Esso and the Trebs, I suppose. Takes 5 Hofnitsa shots to get a Celt Trebuchet up a hill. That's crazy. I don't know what the Sicilians do against the Teutons. Brew is not going to make the same mistake that... Who was it in game 1 that didn't make the KP Boys? I can't remember now. But we do get the KP Boys in the red as well. Masterpiece. So aesthetically pleasing in the red capes. Red capes and gray capes, I think, are the objectively top 2 colors for the Teutonic Knights. Sergeants are great. Sergeants beat a lot of things in melee, but not these guys. Not these guys. Hindustanis running into the throwing axemen. Can the throwing axemen carry another game? Look at this. Crushing it. Absolutely crushing the camels. The camels were mostly not fighting, to be fair. So we'll see if that holds up now. There's not very many throwing axemen here. And there are a lot of camels here. So they're not going to quite get the job done in this particular battle, but let's see. Pasta trying to get the surround with the Halberdier, but there's a lot of Teutonic Knights mixed in here with the Paladin. Also, just like Teutonic Paladin aren't that bad against Halb anyway. To be honest, they kind of tank a lot of shots. Maldhar trying to get it done, but the camels are not giving him any space to breathe anywhere. Okay, these are Halbs. I thought this was another TC from him, and Leash was just all over him. Throwing Axeman. Also some water control here for Leash with the Hindustanis, which are not known for their navy. Good fight here for Maldhar. Bohemian Halbs rip up the Imperial Camels, but improvise with the Celts pushing in. One castle will go down. Maybe that's it, though. Oh, actually, it saved. 120 HP. The Hofnitsa sniped the Treb. And Maldhar is holding in the north. A little concerned about how we deal with this. Because it's just Halbs chasing it around right now, which is not ideal. Massacre. Bloody massacre for Peon on the backside. But Pasta's pushing out with the Sicilians somehow. I feel like I don't understand how this could possibly be true. Students have literally better everything compared to the Sicilians, right? Their bonus here I'm forgetting? No, not really. I think they're strictly the worst Civ, but somehow Pasta is getting it done against True. But I don't know. Maldhar has had some good moments in here in this fight, but I don't know how you stop this as the Bohemians anymore. Rams out in front, SO in the back, Trebs also in the back. Maldhar's base is going to disappear unless we can get a big charge out from the Franks. Drew's relaxed. He's got so much land left. Yeah, true. Got a lot of space to work with, I suppose. Just needs to trade off here too, right? The top side is going so well that as long as True doesn't get completely wiped, I think it's fine. A lot of Halbs went down, so True could just maybe patrol out here with the Paladin if he wanted to. Here's the charge. The big charge for Peon up topside, forgetting the throwing Axemen, though. They get into the fight a little bit late. Throwing Axemen. Oh! Stack up at the wrong time. It wasn't as bad of a shot as I thought it was going to be. Well, it wasn't. It was a good shot. It was a good shot. Definitely cannot stack these guys up on one tile like that. Board positioning for Leash is going to start cleaning out the inside rim of the bowl, so to speak. But throwing Axemen, doing really well against the Camels. There's not much military out here for Leash. Not much military out here for True. Massive eco advantage. I guess on the flip side, there's not much here. There's like nothing here for Maldhar. And Nuclear Pasta's entire army is just SO. So as soon as True decides to actually move out here with the Paladin, I think this all dies. He's taking it... He is very relaxed. Sicilians have better Cav archers than the Teutons. I guess that's true. GG, well played, says Maldhar. He's totally dead. Good luck next. Improvise gets censored, so we have to assume he said something terrible and insulted the Canadians before calling the GG. It's just what we have to assume. We'll never know. And Team USA takes it 4-1 over the Canadians. A Canadian team that's looked really good as well. But Team USA, another beast entirely. GG's. Both teams played really well.